Hey guys, welcome back to the Kool-Aid Podcast. Welcome back to another video. On today's video, guys, we're going to be talking about Hansi Flick and as well about Joan Laporta because both have spoken in a press conference. Hansi Flick speaking before that match against Real Betis tomorrow in the Copa del Rey, and Laporta addressing the press and addressing this whole Dani Olmo situation, but as well giving insight into the situation in regards to Ronald Araújo. And then towards the end of the video, guys, we're going to be giving you an update in regards to Inigo Martínez as we have a more reliable confirmation and the extent of how long he's going to be out for. But guys, before I get started on the video, make sure to follow me on all my social media platforms. Everything is posted down below in the description. Go over there and check me out. That way you guys stay up to date with everything that I do on the channel. But guys, let's get started with the video. All right, guys, let's get started with the video. And I'm still having that high, those emotions from this past weekend, guys, in which Barcelona, they did have that amazing victory against Real Madrid, and I feel so fantastic. But guys, we have our next game. It's a quick turnaround. Barcelona, we're gonna have to lock in, and we're gonna have to play against Real Betis and put in another great performance because it's going to be against a strong team. But Hansi Flick, he starts off by saying, "It's important for me to show that we are strong after the great victory against Madrid." He talks about Ronald Araújo, and this is one of the key quotes. He says, "Let's see, since I speak specifically with the players, it's up to me and the players, so I don't have to comment. Inigo was said to be a brilliant player, a leader. We hope he returns in a month. Araujo is a very good defender and a leader, and he showed it on Sunday." And he does talk about that, and he says that conversation between him and Ronald Araújo is going to be kept private. And I wonder what Hansi Flick has told him, because Hansi Flick, whenever he has spoken on Ronald Araújo, he's talked about his quality. He said what a fantastic player he is. And I wonder if Ronald Araújo, his decision to leave has changed, guys, because when we talk about Inigo Martínez later on, and we touched about this on yesterday's video, but Inigo Martínez injury, some reports were saying that his mind hasn't changed whatsoever. And so, one reason that was being rumored was that Ronald Araújo, he didn't have the minutes that he would have liked. And he wanted to become a starter, looking at how Inigo Martínez and Pau Cuarsí were performing. But looking at how he is now going to be the starter, why would you want to leave? And so one reason that I'm looking at and reading the reports in the media is that either he wants a new challenge, he is not satisfied with the offers that Barcelona, they are, giving him for the renewal. And, in regards to that whole Ronaldo situation, guys, we talked about it in length in yesterday's episode. And if you guys haven't missed that, go make sure to check it out. But, we're going to have to see how this whole Ronald Araújo situation plays out. I am a fan of him. I've talked about this before. But hopefully he does stay. But, Hansi Flick, he says he's not going to comment on it. He's kept that private. But he did perform really well against Real Madrid. And let's see if he can repeat that performance. Hansi Flick, he now talks about Dani Olmo and Pau Victor. He says, "I believe in this club. It has always been like this. And the focus is what I can improve in training and in matches." Hansi Flick now talks about Ansu Fati, who hasn't been involved in these past couple of games. Against Barcelona, he didn't start. He came on, towards the end of the match. And what was a relatively easy game. You also had zero involvement of Ansu Fati in both the Spanish Super Cup matches against Athletic Club and Real Madrid. And so Hansi Flick comments about him. It says, "I'm very happy with all my players. There are injuries. Ter Stegen, Bernal, and now Christensen is back. Maybe on Saturday in Getafe. This is the most important thing. I'm honest with all the players, and we've spoken with Ansu about his situation. I said in the summer that it was up to him to get to his best, and that's what happened. Although he hasn't been able to show us 100% about how good he is, and it's a shame, but he must work to give his best." And in regards to that, it seems that Hansi Flick hasn't given up in regards to Ansu potentially making a comeback. Me personally, I've given up on Ansu Fati. I just think that he won't be able to get back to that level that he showed in previous years. With those injuries, it derailed his career, and it's a shame just looking at how good he was and how great, he was showing. And Hansi Flick not giving up on Ansu. Let's see if he's going to get minutes on this weekend. Tomorrow, not likely, But Flick now talks about the external enemies. He says, we are focused on ourselves. I always say that it is much better to change what you can change. We are a big family, and that is fantastic. The players have a great relationship and are proud to play for this team. I believe in them 100%, and that is the most important thing for a coach. Not just the players, but all the staff. Physiotherapists, physio trainers. In half a year, we have shown the most important thing, that we want this club to succeed. We want titles, and we won one on Sunday. I can feel that. Everyone knows what they do. Winning titles is easier, but you have to show it again and again. And right there, Hansi Flick is talking about the unity between the team, and obviously the winning mentality, the ability of winning trophies, and that's going to be the goal for Hansi Flick. He talks about that. He says, we have a fantastic atmosphere. We're a family, and they're going to be aiming to win. And this victory against Real Madrid in the fashion that we got it as well, that's super important, because the Super Copa de España, it's a small trophy. It's not a trophy that, that we every season go, let's say, hey, that's going to be the number one priority. But, especially the way that we beat Real Madrid, that's going to be a huge confidence booster for this team. And it's going to give some very great sensations for what Barcelona can do in this second half of the season. Hansi Flick now talks about Deco and the possible reinforcements. And he says, of course, I talk to Deco almost daily, but I've already said that I'm happy with the team. And with that statement, it seems that Hansi Flick, he's not going to be, calling upon any reinforcements in the January transfer window. And me personally, a loaner here, a free agent, if there is, one in the market, maybe a Marcus Rashford potentially, that could be an option. But at the moment, Hansi Flick happy with what he has. Flick now talks about the moment. He says the way we won on Sunday should give us that confidence that we can win every game. Each and every one of us should feel that. We have to work as a united group on the field. It is something crucial. Hansi Flick now talks about the goalkeeper, and he says everything has changed a lot. Tech performed very well after the long break. We could see him with that incredible mentality, helping the other goalkeepers, training. But regarding Iñaki Peña, who has been under pressure, he has been able to show his calm and strength, and that helps him. I can see that. And so he praises both goalkeepers, and I wonder who is going to be starting in tomorrow's match against Real Betis in the Copa del Rey. Me personally, I start Szczesny. I think, have that distinction between Szczesny and Iñaki. Iñaki Peña, you start in the UCL, you start in La Liga. Szczesny, you started in the Copa del Rey, and as well, you started in the Spanish Super Cup. And so I think that could be a good distinction between the two goalkeepers. But let's see who Hansi Flick opts to start in tomorrow's match. He now talks about that victory against Madrid, and he says, I don't like to exaggerate anything. For the culés, it was a great victory. Everyone could see that. It's something huge to win with that score, and it's something to be proud of. That's great for me, but in the end, the important thing is to prove it every day. And I agree. Right now, guys, it's a time of celebration, but we have to turn the page and we have to look ahead. Barcelona right now, we're going to be going into another competition in which Barcelona can get knocked out. We can't have this, sensation of, oh, we've won the Super Copa de España against Real Madrid. We bashed them. Everything is done and sorted. No. Right now, that is only the first step of many in order to have a successful season. Barcelona have to turn the page and focus on Real Betis, because that's going to be another big, big test. Hansi Flick now talks about the danger of euphoria, and this is what I was talking about. He says that's how it is. We just have to prove it tomorrow, playing with the same attitude and approach. Betis is a great team, and we have to show every day that we want to be the best team. And he talks about the contract renewal. He says, I haven't even thought about it yet, because I know that in football, things are what they are, and things can change radically. At the end of the season, we'll see. I have a contract for 1.5 years, and I feel good here. And in regards to that, I hope Hansi Flick decides to have a long tenure here at Barcelona. The way that this team is playing, and the way that and the sensations that they're giving. Even when we were, having that rough period in November and December, we knew what Barcelona were trying to play, what they were trying to do. and Hansi Flick in the summer with reinforcements. Oh my God, imagine how that team is going to be playing. But let me know your guys' thoughts in regards to Hansi Flick. He spoke about Ronald Araújo, and what do you guys make of his quotes? But now I want to be talking about Joan Laporta because he spoke about Barcelona's financial recovery. He spoke about in depth about some Barcelona topics, and he did seem a little bit annoyed at some of the questions that the media were asking of him. And he starts off by saying, "We inherited a dire financial situation, but through strategic decisions and sacrifices, the club is now on solid ground. Barcelona is not just surviving, we are preparing for a bright and sustainable future." And that is basically the goal that we had when Joan Laporta first came in. Not only for Barcelona, to get out of this, financial turmoil, but also to have a bright period, have a bright future. And Joan Laporta, he's done good things and bad things throughout his tenure, but he is there and he is working every single day behind the scenes to make that happen. Joan Laporta, he now talks about Raphinha's future. It says, "Raphinha is an integral part of our project. He represents the passion and resilience we value at Barca. Despite the market rumors, we are fully committed to his growth and contribution to the team. His performances show promise, and he will continue to be a key figure in our plans moving forward." And there were some rumors in regards to, Raphinha and, Joan Laporta, because there was a photo emerging, talking about like, hey, is Joan Laporta, dissing Raphinha or anything like that? But he put all of that stuff to bed. It was just a conversation between the two of them. And it was actually Raphinha who approached Joan Laporta. Joan Laporta, he talks about the Nike partnership, and he says, "Our relationship with Nike is built on a shared vision of excellence and innovation. Nike has been more than a sponsor. They are a partner in elevating FC Barcelona's global presence. Together, we have created iconic moments, and we look forward to further strengthening this collaboration for years to come." And we do know that that sponsorship deal with Nike is one of the best in the world. Joan Laporta, he talks about Messi's legacy. He says, "Messi is the greatest player in our history and perhaps the greatest ever. His departure was one of the toughest decisions we had to make, but the love and respect between Messi and Barcelona are eternal." And he's the GOAT. He's the GOAT. And in regards to that relationship, obviously, he could have done things a lot better in regards to that Messi departure. And hopefully we do see a farewell moment for Lionel Messi and what he has contributed to this team, because the period with Lionel Messi was the greatest period in Barcelona's history. Joan Laporta, he now talks about Xavi. He says, "Xavi embodies the values of Barcelona, both as a player and now as a coach. His tactical knowledge, leadership, and connection with the players have reignited the spirit of this team. He understands what it means to play the Barca way." Right there, he gives credit to Xavi. Joan Laporta talks also about the European Super League. He says that the Super League is about securing the future of football. It is not just about money, but ensuring fair competition and keeping clubs like ours from being left behind by unsustainable practices. And in regards to that, I wonder what's the latest in regards to the European Super League, because there were lots of reports saying that Barcelona and Real Madrid, they were the only two teams left in that project for the European Super League, but they're still adamant about having that project go through. Hopefully we'll see what happens. Are you guys a fan of the Super League? I want to know your guys' thoughts down below in the comments. Joan Laporta, he talks about La Masia. He says, "La Masia is the heart of SC Barcelona. It's not just a football academy, but a school of life. We are proud to see so many young talents coming through the ranks, carrying our identity on their shoulders." And La Masia, if we have that as the core of our team, as the core of Barcelona, then we are bound to have success. But La Masia is the best academy in the world. And as he says, it's the heart of Barcelona. We're through this, bright, I would say, rebuilding process, because we have so much amazing talents coming from La Masia. Your Pau Cubarsí, your Lamine Yamal, your Marc Casado, all of these talented players who are just phenomenal. Joan Laporta now talks about the Camp Nou. It says the Espai Barça project is a monumental step for us. The new Camp Nou will be a world-class facility, blending our tradition with the future. It's more than a stadium. It'll be a home for every Barcelona fan. And in regards to that, we did show some photos in one of my previous videos, and it doesn't seem likely that the Camp Nou will be anywhere near completion in the foreseeable future. My thoughts are that it's going to be I would say close to finishing maybe by the summer. Some reports were saying that, April, May, around there. But we know how those reports, they're usually a little bit optimistic. But Joan Laporta, he talks about the transfer strategy. It says, we prioritize quality over quantity. Every signing must add value to the team and align with our philosophy. We are building a squad that can compete for all major titles. And we talked about who can potentially be coming in the summer and in the January transfer window. Two players who have emerged into the Barcelona radar in Alexander Isak and Benjamin Sesko. Two players who Barcelona, they are targeting for that number 9 position. But Barcelona, they're already keeping track of Gyökeres and of Haaland. And I ask you guys, which of the 4 players are you guys a fan of? Joan Laporta, he talks about the financial fair play, and he says fair play rules must ensure real equality. Clubs with historic legacies should not be punished, while others with state-backed funding bypass restrictions. He talks about the ambitions. He says Barcelona is not just a football club, it's a global cultural icon. Our goal is to strengthen our presence in every corner of the world, bringing the Barca spirit to next generations. And I love how, Joan Laporta talks about Barcelona because, you can tell that his genuine love for the club. And that's something that has never been in question. Joan Laporta, he loves the team, he loves the club, and, he may do things bad or worse on certain occasions. He makes mistakes, as every human does. But one thing is for certain is that he loves his club and he wants the team to succeed. But the last piece of news I did want to talk to you guys about is in regards to Inigo Martínez, because the club has officially reported that he has suffered a right hamstring tear, and he will be out for roughly 4 weeks, which is a bigger news, and better news than the previous report that we're seeing anywhere between 5 to 8 weeks. And so 4 weeks is absolutely fantastic. He'll be roughly missing a month of action, and it's great to have Inigo Martínez, be out for a lesser time than was to be expected, and we wish Inigo Martínez a speedy recovery. And in regards to Ronald Araújo, we know that his mind hasn't changed, but let's see if the team, Joan Laporta, or any of us Barcelona fans can change his mind, as we do know Juventus, they are upping the pressure to take him away from Barcelona. But guys, that was it for the video. Let me know your guys' thoughts down below in the comments on everything that I have discussed. Joan Laporta had an extensive interview in which he talked about everything in Barcelona. Hansi Flick talked about Araujo. He talked about tomorrow's match. What changes would you guys make to the team leading up to the game against Real Betis? And what are your score predictions as well? Let me know your guys' thoughts down below in the comments. I'll see you guys all in the next video. Peace out, guys.